My name is Mele Olivetti, and you're listening to the Encouragers podcast.
But if I look at the camera, it'll actually look like I'm looking at you guys. So funny. I need to get a camera where it's just right at the center of the screen so I can just look like I'm looking at the screen and looking at you at the same time. Mela, you there?
I'm here.
Why, my bad. You just listened to me rant on about looking
All
at the
good.
camera.
All good, all good.
What's up, Mele?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
What was your name?
They call me Coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
Awesome. We could all do with a coach.
That's true. So me and Will, we were college roommates. Will played for Arizona State University, played football there.
Yeah.
And I was roommates with him and Paul Fanaika.
Very good.
Hopefully Paul can hop on.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, we're all just one big happy family. Just all went to school together.
Love it.
We did.
And you guys have all gone your respective ways. You're living in Nevada. And what area are you in, Will?
I live in Utah.
Utah.
Yeah. My wife is from here, so
Yeah.
I'm originally from California.
Okay.
And so just being a good spouse, I decided to follow my wife to Utah.
There you go. That's happy wife, happy life.
Oh, wow. That's it.
Learn quick.
Huh?
That's good. How many kids? Any kids? You guys
Yeah.
have families?
Yeah, we got a little baby Will runs around the house and warms our house up, so it's fun.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any kids, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. Someday, hopefully soon. Working on it.
Working on it.
How about yourself? Do you have kids yourself?
I have 3 kids. Yep.
Nice.
I got married young, so I got married when I was 20. Faith Girl's daughter, did the whole Tongan thing, and then that sort of went left, and I've been divorced for about 12 years now. I think my kids I had all my kids at the same time. Like my daughter when I was 21, so she's 14 now. So my kids are in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They grow up fast, man.
She's like taller than me. It's insane. It's wild how fast they grow. So enjoy them while they're small.
I know. I have, but my brother, he's the youngest of. I'm come from four of us in our family. I have an older sister, me, and then my younger sister, and a little brother. And he has 3 kids, but the little one, he just barely turned 4, so he's gonna turn 5. But man, like just seeing how he's getting so much, like he knows how to do the phone apps and play Minecraft on there. And I just remember like just when he was just a small little baby, and now he can play Minecraft on the phone and on the console now.
When they get to about 2 years old, they know how to swipe.
Oh my gosh. It's wild. Time flies, man.
It is.
Yeah, the kids are smarter nowadays.
I think things are so different now to back when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of have to navigate like what you expose the kids to. You kind of don't want them doing too much with like, I don't allow my kids to go on social media or apps or anything like that. That's just me trying to sort of protect what they're exposed to. But yeah, it's weird times, especially now with technology and the internet.
Yeah, your phone, you could do so much from your phone. You can run a whole business on your phone
Really
nowadays.
Yeah, but I kind of want to monitor what the kids are until they're mature enough to discern and make their own, not be so affected about what they see on social media and the internet. And I don't know, maybe it's just the protect, because my parents were pretty strict on me growing up. So yeah.
So do your kids have phones?
My eldest does. She's 14, only because, she's a girl, and when they go to high school and if I need to contact her, but I've only just given her a phone this year.
Okay. So that was a big deal.
It was a big deal. Yeah, it was a big deal. I was trying to, like, I want to be able to contact her after school and things like that, especially with being, my lifestyle and running around in meetings and stuff. And I want to have a direct contact to her, but she's limited to how she uses it. And I don't feel bad. I don't feel like she's, I don't feel that guilt where all her friends are on it. I'm pretty stern with my rules and what I allow her to do. And the kids are kids. Like, they do what you teach them, what you tell them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nowadays they have those apps where you can kind of control how long they use specific apps. So say, like, if there's a social media app, you can, if they use it up in that one day, oh, that's it. You get the next couple hours next week. So
I think it's healthy to like, this is the age now where they should be a bit more in tune with themselves and trying to figure out what their passions are, what they want to do in life. Once their minds are flooded with so many things that they're exposed to on the internet, they lose sight of being in touch with themselves. I want them during this age to figure out what they want to do in life, like what their passions are, like be more in tune with themselves instead of being so saturated with what they see on the internet. But yeah, you have to monitor those types of habits. They're going to get to an age where they can do whatever they want. But for now, while they're 13, 14, 15, I want to try and protect them.
Yeah, you should. I mean, that's what parents are for. I mean,
Yeah.
I see parents out there that are just like, they try to be best friends with their kids. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me.
No friends here.
Yeah.
They don't make friends in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like during lockdown, it's hard for them because they can't go anywhere. They can't do anything. So I try and do as much as I can with them and try and talk to them. And Macca's drive-through, that's a adventure for us during lockdown. But yeah, it's hard times now. Like, I couldn't imagine if we were in lockdown back 20 years ago. I'd go insane.
Speaking of social media, I've been stalking your pages and trying to figure out, just your vision and what your thought process is. And, one of the questions that came to my mind was, a lot of your pictures and a lot of your website decorations, they're pretty elegant, and if you can kind of like share with us, like, what is the mastermind, what is the vision behind it? Because I feel warm when I read it. I feel comfortable. I feel like it's very inviting for me as a male,
Right.
But what are you trying to portray? What is it that you're trying to help others like see once they click on your page?
I do, like, when I started this business, I envisioned what I wanted the brand to, a brand is like essentially a voice, like what the personality of the business will be. And I wanted it to reflect almost like the same core values that I have in life. I sort of aim high in life. But I don't forget where I come from. I don't forget how I was raised. And there's a lot of aspects that I value about, even being brought up in a strict home. Back then I hated it, but now I value that I was brought up a certain way. And I wanted to sort of depict a rich culture, a rich heritage. I wanted to pay homage to a tradition and a culture that raised our ancestors and our parents. And it runs through our veins, it runs through our bloodline, no matter where we go in this world. And I wanted to sort of have, there's so much, I don't know about in America, I'm sure everywhere, but there's not so much great light that's depicted for Pacific Islanders. We're not really seen as other than sport, I guess, in terms of in the news and things like that, there's not always a great narrative that's connected to our Polynesia people. But I wanted to bring out a brand and say, hey, like we have just as much to offer as any other culture, and really depict that in the marketing, really depict that in my product, really depict that in the stories that we share and that we tell. So yeah, I think, I don't know, I just don't do anything just because. Everything actually has a meaning to it, from our logo, the tokelau filetoa, the pattern that's on the logo, my name that's represented on the brand, the people who have asked to be part of our campaigns. Yeah, my mind just is going 24/7. I actually want to put something out there that shares a story.
That's dope.
That's dope. Like, why the colors? Why gold? Why black? Why white?
Premium. I think, why not? I think.
Shoot, come on now. Come on.
I know. Go ahead, girl. Preach.
For real.
Nah.
Shoot, that too.
No, I just think there's so much richness. I think richness is a word that comes to mind. And I said it in a interview that I did before, that I wanted this brand and product to be competitive in the market. So when doing like market research, everything has a meaning when I was putting together this brand, when I was putting together the product. And I just want it to be reflective of a proud, rich people. I wanted to elevate the culture and have something for kids and even the people in Tonga to be proud of, that we are out here like representing, and have something to sort of be proud of. Like, I don't know, am I making sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I stumbled upon your launch actually just on via Instagram. I follow this other creative that does photos and stuff on Instagram, and they had liked something, and I seen it on my feed, and I clicked on it, and I seen that you were doing a product launch, and I was like, whoa, this name, Feniu. Sorry. I was like, dude, this has to be Poly. This has to be Tonga. They got to be from Polynesian or Tongan or something. Then I clicked on it and I see the dancers, the girls, right, all dressed up in traditional attire. I was like, whoa, what is this? What did I just stumble upon? I was like, dang, this is so dope. And then to come to find out that the founder and the CEO of the product line was Tongan and a female. I mean, coming from our culture, you know what I'm saying? And coming from our culture, where we put the females in our culture are, like the fahu and everything. Just for example, is highly regarded in our culture. Like, women are strong women in our culture, and to be able to see you, reflect that in a product, and also a product, I was blown away. I was like, still blown away. And thank you again for coming on our podcast, our small little podcast, and talking to us about your journey. And just
thank you so much. I'm really honored that you guys, and thank you so much for the really lovely comments and feedback. It's not all of me, like it's really a collective. I don't really, I have a strong faith. And if you guys knew my story, like a year before I launched Feniu, I was really at rock bottom, and I give everything back to God, and I really believe that He's aligned me with people to help me with this vision. I mean, if I didn't have this vision, I really feel like I would have been really destructive in my life. So I don't want to take all the credit for it. I really give everything to God, who I asked Him to give me hope for myself and my children. And just a year after that situation, like everything just came together. And even I look back at it, it's almost like it was like really spiritual being there at the event. Like yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm off with the fairies, but that's really the honest truth about how everything's come together. And I really respect everybody that I work with. I believe everybody has talent, and I respect people who have talent. I had an idea for what I want, but I really listen to the people around me and what they have to bring to the table, what they have to offer. And there's so many people that are talented. And here in Australia, like a lot of our talents don't get, a lot of our creatives don't get the opportunity to work on stuff like this. So to be able to give it to them and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What can you do with this? And our photo shoots and our launch, like it just all came together so effortlessly because everyone genuinely gave their heart and their talent to working on something. And I'm grateful to the community. I'm grateful to everyone. And when you just are not so controlling with it, but allow people to do what they do, you really can produce some really amazing things. And I'm just grateful that it's my brand that has the name on it. But yeah, I look forward to working with people, and not only here in Australia, but get over to America and see what America has to offer, and get over to Tonga and see what our Tongan kids have to offer. Like, let's
Right?
do.
Jeez. I lived in Tech and you'll meet Tech's one of the guys that's on the podcast as well. But we both lived in New York City, and we were fortunate enough to learn about how to do branding, work with different companies on like Saks Fifth Avenue, for example. We worked on their Christmas campaign one year. But it takes, like you said, it takes a village to come up with all the design, the lighting, even for the photographers, who to book or the video portion of it. It takes a team to
Yeah.
come up with, the smallest little thing, and to pass it by someone that gets, that approves everything too.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of time, and I can't imagine how much effort and time you've put into the marketing and the branding of your company and product. It takes a lot of time. So great, congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
That's huge, right? Sheesh.
Man, I'm just, our podcast is a little bit more, it's just more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not too, we just want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And so like, there's not like a strict questionnaire or questions that we want to ask you. So
I got that vibe of when, who was it? Sorry. Was it you? One of you guys hit me up on Instagram, and then straight away I was like, when fam? Like I just got it was just, I love the opportunity to just share straight off the heart without a strict, agenda or any questions. Because me as a person, I'm a very casual person. I'm very approachable. I'm very I'm just cool. And I like the fact that I could just share. I think you get more out of it, but also, I can learn about what you guys are doing over there. And I'm totally cool with that.
Heck yeah. I know. Because I was just researching you and just trying to figure out where your mindset is at, because you don't see too many strong Tongan women doing what you're doing, and I haven't seen it, in my eyes. There's some few here in the States, but yours is off the hook, girl. You've grown so fast in such a short period of time, right?
Goodness, yes.
And so how, and I know your brain is always working because you're a businesswoman. You get it from your daddy. I read that. Mm-hmm. Dad's inspired you to think a certain way. Mm-hmm. But my question for you is, when you're creating your team, or you're in touch with somebody that you want to do business with because you felt like that was your next goal, how do you know that that person or that company or that team is the right one for you and your brand?
I don't mean to sound like
go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, just tell us.
For me, you can have everything like credentials or whatever, but as soon as I talk to a person, I just know straight away. Like, for example, we've had to, if we're picking our last thing was picking a PR company. We sat down with maybe 3-4 different companies, and I just knew straight away which one was the one. If we're sitting down trying to figure out who's the best person to work with for a website design, we'll talk to each one. And my business partner is very cool with me. He'll just ask me which one, and I just have a gut instinct of who to go with. And it's never wronged me. I'm very like in touch with my intuition, and I pray for discernment every day. Like I actually do the work, you know, when it's not work time, so I could make the right decisions. Like I don't want to waste people's time. I don't want to waste people's money. I'm very aware of like time, and you know, maybe I won't get it right one day, but that's life. You know, in entrepreneurship, you take risks and you understand what comes with those risks. And all right, so that didn't work out. You move on to the next person.
Right.
But I don't think people ever have ill intentions. People always want to put, you know, I don't believe that people will just want to work with you because they want to waste your time. I think everybody just has a different level of connection, and I kind of go with who I could work well with. I kind of like people that are very approachable, that don't need like a full-on email just to get things done. If we can add them on WhatsApp and just sort of go back and forth like that. I've got 3 kids at the end of the day. I just want to be able to work easily with people. And I just can tell, like in the first meeting, I guess, who would work well with us.
Well, that's why your brand's blown up so fast. You know, I think
Seriously.
yeah, I think you've been prepared for this for a long time. It's just a matter of time of you now finally doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, nobody really cares about your product more than you do. Nobody's ever gonna think like you. They don't wake up late at night writing down those notes or making those phone calls. They don't need to do that, right? They don't lose sleep or have to do all these like stressful things. But girl, big ups to you for you know what I'm saying, for doing that.
There's so much prettiness you see on the social media and on the page, but in the background, there's so much like grit and hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. You know, you're fighting your battles, your personal battles. You know, I left the security of a corporate job to sacrifice to risk it all for this business. I have 3 children. You know, the decisions that I've had to make for this weren't easy, and I was very alone in the start of it because a lot of people couldn't see what I saw. Now they do. And I've had, you know, my mum and dad, I love my mum and dad, but they, you know, I was working a full-time job, and I would drop the kids off to my mum and say, Mum, I'm going to Tonga for the weekend. And that's just to go and range the oil. She didn't know what I was doing. She didn't know where I was going. I was going by myself. I took annual leave off work on Monday and Friday, flew to Tonga because they're not good on like communicating on emails. Go over to Tonga. I did that maybe 5-6 times a year.
Jeez.
And you know, now she sits in front of me and she gets upset. She cries. She goes, okay, si whaka offer, like you're doing stuff by yourself. And I go, I'm not. I've been doing this for a long time. I feel like I've built resilience to get through to this point. And I give thanks to God that He's taken care of me, and He's taken me down a certain path. And I was just going off a whim. I was just moving.
So kind of like you had an idea and a vision, but the plan wasn't really set there, but you just went and did it anyway.
Yeah.
That says a lot. And it's remarkable because you said you had some adversity, like, you know, you started off as a single mother and starting a huge business like this. This is not a small task, and you were able to overcome your adversity. Can you talk a little bit about like,
yeah, I mean,
how will you do that?
It's a very real part of my journey, and I haven't really discussed it so much. I think in time, I think everybody's journey is their testimony. And I think in the right time when I'm able to articulate it, but in a nutshell, divorced quite young, and then battles with depression and anxiety, mental illness, just, feeling misunderstood and judged for being divorced with young children and just trying to live my life. I tried to settle down. Like, I really wanted to get married. I really wanted to not be ashamed of my status, and I just wasn't really meeting the right people and being hurt along the way, and really trying to keep it together while working a full-time job, because I had so much expectations of myself, looking at my family, my dad and my brothers, they own businesses, and I just had a real big drive within myself, but really fighting demons in my own personal life, but also sensing the responsibility that I had to my children and wanting to give them more than what I had. And I had a good life, like being brought up. My parents did well coming here to Australia and establishing themselves here. And I just felt like a sense of restlessness. And all my siblings, they're married with children and they live, I was the rebel. I was the black sheep. I have 2 older brothers. I have 2 younger sisters, and I was just different. I kind of, I have a drink. I go and party, and I just do whatever I want, basically not feeling like I own who I am. I believe I'm not a perfect person, and there was a period in my life where, the social media, like my brothers and that, it came up that they weren't comfortable with, me having a boyfriend and things like that. So like, it really gets deep as a Tongan girl, with identity of what you're expected to be like after you have children. And that's just a reality of it, being brought up the way that I've been brought up, and my parents being Whaiwhikaos, and having to fight identity within yourself.
My bad.
It could be like that. It really be like that.
Oh yeah, it does.
Because the standards for you, because of your mom and dad, was a little bit more strict, and you had to act a certain way because that was mom and dad, right?
Yeah, I mean, my parents weren't like that towards us, but I think it was just within the community. Like, it's not maybe spoken on, but you sense it, you feel it. And I'm just the type of person that didn't care, as long as I knew what my relationship with my faith was. And I'm not so hard on myself in that factor, but like just the environment that I was in, with church or with community, and with what other people's would put on me, like you feel it all. And so I battled with that for many years, and it wasn't until like a year before the launch happened, there was an incident that happened with my family, a violent incident that left me in hospital. And I disconnected completely with the family and had to start from rock bottom. And it was like sink or swim for me at that moment. I really just, gave it to God and asked him to take care and help me. And it's really been a spiritual journey since then. The fact from that point to a year later, where he was able to make the launch happen, I wish people would actually knew like the work that had to be done within myself to get to even make that happen. But that's why I give it back to God, everything that happens within the business, because I've experienced rock bottom, and he's been able to show mercy to me and be able to give me this to focus on and give me and my children hope for the future. And it is for me to give it back by doing the absolute best that I can to show my gratitude and thanks to God. So that's a bit of the testimony right there.
That's what's up.
And that's just being real.
Yeah. That is deep. I love that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
also my children's journey through it too. So I had
Yeah.
to get right, and I had to heal that. They had to heal that, as well. Their father is, he lives in a different state. But me and their father split when they were, I think my youngest was just born. She was just a newborn. So since my eldest was about 3, 4, she hasn't known a family, like a family unit. And I've always felt like I need to do right by my kids. Like I need to try and get right for the kids. The pressure that I put on myself to like settle down and I just couldn't find a right person. But my kids are my blessing. God gave me like the most beautiful children, and they journey with me, and they're so bright. My kids are so bright and so strong and resilient. And I try and feed into them, and not, growing up, like the parents, they, they just operate as parents, and then you're the kids. Whereas now I try to break certain curses, like generational curses, where I try and communicate with my kids, and I try and get them ready for real life. And the kids know, like subconsciously, the kids know what's up. I'm trying to be like a good mom, good mom, good businesswoman, and it can all be done. Like you said, I wanted to be that example for girls out there, and I don't want to paint out this picture about, it's all glamorous and things like that. I want to actually be real about the realities of being a mother and being a businesswoman, and actually having to, if you're doing something attached to the culture, people tend to get scared of that. You just can't give a shit what people think. You can't care what people think. You just have to be so confident in what you're doing, and not be afraid. And I don't sense that fear. I'm not worried about, what people have to say.
Someone once told me that the highest good for yourself will eventually be the highest good for everyone else. And like you can see, you're a prime example of that. You had to go and not like rush through it, but you were able to overcome the adversity, right? Some people, when they're hit with adversity, they crumble, but some people rise, and so you've been able to rise to the top. And I think that's a great thing for all the other young ladies that will be listening to this or come upon this podcast. They can listen to that, like you said, just keep it real, and commend you for that. So some people crumble when they hit that adversity. I know a lot of people that crumble, that had you know what I mean, that crumbled during that pressure. But and it's a great thing to show your kids, like you were able to not only just rise through it, but go through it with them.
It's life. I mean, you get tested. You're working on something that's you ultimately want to encourage and to bring light in amongst, like, I just think that it comes with it. You can't have all of the great. You actually have to build. And I think my experiences through life have built me to this point where I'm able to handle certain things within the business. I've been working in the retail industry in head offices for the last 12 years, not knowing, probably in the last 5 or 6 years of it, I knew that I was going to do my own thing. And I started to take on temporary roles because I was trying to prepare myself. Like I couldn't give myself fully to a full-time position, being like brand manager or product manager, knowing that I wanted to start my own thing. So I started taking, maternity leave roles, 6-month roles as a product manager and things like that. So I knew subconsciously that I was going to be doing my own thing, and I just slowly started to pick and choose what I wanted to incorporate in my life.
Did the corporate world, did they have you sign non-disclosure agreements like NDAs to not compete with them or to not break off or branch off and do your own thing? Did you find a lot of adversity with that?
Not really, because I worked in different industries. Like I worked for, I think my first role in a retail head office was for Rebel Sports. So it's one of the biggest sports retailers here in Australia. And in that, I got my first taste of product development. So I worked for the fitness department. So we were doing all the fitness equipment and all the nutrient bars and all the like Fitbits, all the watches and things like that. But then we created a brand within that. I got to see that I was a product associate at that time. So the buyer who buys, who picks and chooses what goes in the store, I was exposed to that sort of environment. And then as I sort of went along in my career, I changed to different companies. And then I ultimately became like in branding, brand management, always knowing in the back of my head that I was going to work on something, but it was never a thing where we had to sign anything to say that we were, because these are big corporations. And I worked for Estee Lauder as well. So for Tom Ford, which is luxury. I remember going in there one day and sitting around and looking at this huge, amazing luxury building and thinking to myself, I want something like this one day for my business. I had like envisioned it in my head and I didn't see why I couldn't do it.
That's powerful.
You was gamming yourself up. You already had a plan. You already had a vision.
Yep.
Girl.
And then I went to a Vogue event as an entrepreneur. I was invited to a Vogue event for women, and one of the speakers was one of my bosses from Estee Lauder. So I thought, this is really cool. Like, I'm here to start my own thing. And I used to work for that company, and I went to her and said hello afterwards. And
nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Was
awesome.
that Vogue China?
Pardon?
Was that Vogue China?
No, Vogue Australia.
Okay.
Vogue China did an article. We had a few influencers come out for our event and they put up an article for us. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it helped to be around the sort of environment that you were eventually going to head down.
Yeah, I think everything sort of built up the confidence being around already, that sort of like luxury branding. Tom Ford is like all gold, like their bottles are all gold. I started seeing things and it started to build this picture in my mind and influence what I wanted Feniu to be.
That's what's up. That's crazy. Yeah, because now you have this a luxury product. You have your own luxury product now.
Yeah.
It's come to fruition. And for most people, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you're going to be in Dubai, right? You're going to be in Dubai pretty soon, right?
Yeah. So Dubai, because we've been on the strict lockdown, we're going for Tonga. So we've only been approved to leave Australia because we're showcasing for Australia now. So through the government, the Department of Home Affairs had to approve our travel. So it's looking like we're going to go in the end of December now. So the expo goes for 6 months. And yeah, that blows my mind that we got that opportunity. Like,
that's freaking huge. For people listening to right now, the Dubai Expo is where everything happens. It pretty much runs the world, pretty much.
Like back in the day, like people, they came and showcased the telephone, and like countries like the bloody Eiffel Tower was built for the World Expo in Paris. It's insane that after a year launching Feniu that I'm having meetings with these people and we're showcasing not only for Tonga but for Australia.
It is massively huge. It's where you want to be if you're trying to do something like launch a brand, or it's the places of all. It's like the Mecca almost, literally.
Of the world.
Seriously. Yeah. And that,
girl, you about to be famous here in like, hold up, even if you're not famous yet, I'm gonna need an autograph. Screenshot this real quick, Toko, so that you know what I'm saying, that we got the superstar of Tonga on our podcast. If you're just tuning in, we got the superstar of Feniu. Tell us more about your product. So like, you're gonna go to Tonga, right? I mean, you're gonna go to Dubai and be with like 200 different countries throughout the world to kind of present the product that you've been staying up late night thinking about creating with your team. Can you just kind of let everybody know exactly? I know you've been doing you've been flying to Tonga to get some real coconuts. This ain't no like, you know, some stuff that you just buy at the grocery store. This is real authentic.
Make
from
it
the
right in front of you.
You got dudes climbing the coconut tree and just, you know, and it's falling down, right? If you want to share with us kind of like, you know, what the product is so that everybody that's listening can understand what you're really doing.
Yeah, so it's the Lolo Tonga. It's our version, our modernized version of the Lolo Tonga, and it's a formulated version. So before I launched it in the way that you guys saw it, I was doing this as a side business from home. So I would go to Tonga, and I think I actually have one here. Oh my God, give me a minute. So
hold up. You talk about the Lolo Tonga. Okay, hold up.
Comes in a bucket, 20-liter bucket. This is how the Lolo comes, like that.
Oh, dang.
And it's, I would be dragging 3 or 4 of these on the airplane just to bring from Tonga. And they're pure coconut. Some of them are flavored. I don't even know how I ended up with one under my desk, but I would bring them back home. And then I would be filling it in smaller bottles and just selling it myself. So I would go to Tonga and I would say, can I have this flavor of Lolo? And so I had a little website. I made up my own website, and it still had like the gold, but I was sticking on the labels myself and just selling it online. Gold. And yeah, that's how it started. But then when I went into business with my investors, we decided that if we wanted to be in the real playing game with luxury skincare, that we actually had to formulate it. So we brought in some cosmetic scientists, dermatologists to come up with a formula for an active skincare line. And yeah, so we bring in the Lolo, and it's brought to our factory here in Australia, and the cosmetic scientists mix it together with vitamin E and, you know, avocado oil and macadamia nut seed oil, like really great products for your skin on your face. I think the pure Lolo Tonga you can use on your body, but the skin on your body is totally different to the skin on your face. So we've gone through a lot of testing. And I wanted to use the flavor of ahi because I read it in history books that ahi was the oil for the kings back in the day. And I hadn't seen any ahi oil around, and I just wanted to be different. I wanted to be different. And I was like, wow, this is the oil of kings. And, you know, the princess confirmed it to me. She's like, yes.
Wait, what princess?
The princess of Tonga. When I met with her.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just met the princess of like deep. Dang, girl. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm just.
Yes.
What is ahi? What's the English translation of ahi?
Sandalwood. And sandalwood. It's in your Chanel's. It's in your Tom Fords. It's very expensive. So back in the days, the Europeans used to come and steal the sandalwoods off the islands because they grew in that climate. Very expensive commodity. They've since put laws to not allow people to come and take sandalwood, because it could take up to like 20 years to grow a mature tree. It's a tree, and so there's like a little white part in the trunk of the tree that you can use to make the ahi. So wow. I don't know why it came up to me, just like highlighted in my brain, you're going to do the ahi oil. And then I just was on a mission. I went to Tonga. We went looking for ahi. And yeah, the youth were the ones who were helping make it. And that's sort of the hero ingredient, the hero flavor in our oil and in our cream. Because we wanted to sort of penetrate different markets like the Asian market and the Western market, we wanted to give like an option for both an oil and a cream, because some people have oily skin and they don't like oil on their face. So we formulated a hydrating cream as an option for them, as an alternative for them to use. But now we've come out with 2 new products. So it's like a cleanser, which has tui tui in it, and it foams up and it washes everything just straight off your face, but doesn't leave your face feeling dry. And an anti-wrinkle cream for your eyes, and that's got mohokoi oil. So we've selected certain oils to be sourced from Tonga, bringing it here to formulate here in Australia. And yeah, I think we wanted to be competitive. We wanted all the right certifications. We wanted all the right testing done. And we've got the Australia, Made in Australia logo on the product. So this is the sort of box here, and we've got all the right sort of,
Nice.
yeah. So a lot of work has gone into getting this product ready for the world.
That's dope. That's so
Damn,
dope.
you was in line when you said you wanted to aim high, girl. You didn't just go for the market. You said, I'm going for the world.
I wanted it all, and I knew that a lot of work needed to be done to get competitive in the competitive region for that. But look at that, like we've drawn in an interest from, like I said, I met with Her Royal Highness. Like I didn't even think that was in the, I didn't even think that was going to happen. I was just doing it, and then I received the invitation to go meet with her, and just having their approval and having their support has meant so much to me. Like it blows my mind.
So when you get to Tonga, they have like the fala they lay out for you.
Oh, no.
They carry you. They make sure you.
I'm going straight on the
No. You know?
She did tell me that she wanted me to visit all the islands. She said I would like for you to visit, because I haven't been to Vava'u or Ha'apai or any of the outer islands, but she said that she would like for me to do a tour of all the islands.
Amazing.
That has to happen.
What part of Tonga is your family from?
So my mom is Kolomotua, both her parents are Kolomotua and from Kolomotua. So that's the Ha'awhiwhita and the Kei in Loto Kolomotua. And my father is from Navtoka, Ha'apai, Whaleloa, Fua Whaleloa. That's where I'm from. So by the ends of the island.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of comments of people saying that you guys are not related. So be ready for some cousin.
My cousin. Where are you guys from?
Automatically.
Where are you guys from?
Go ahead, Coach.
My mom's from Feremea, so from Ha'apai, and then she was born and raised in Ovaka, so just a little island. And then my pops, they're from Nata'ata, they're from Nuatoputapu, from the Ha'asika.
Cool.
But grew up in Vaini, so I'm a V-Town baby.
You V-Town with Diamond Langi.
That's it. Me and Diamond Langi, what's up? Diamond Langi, shout out to Diamond, what's up?
My sis Diamond, love her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, my mom is from Havelu.
Havelu.
And then I was actually born in Havelu, but my dad is called Motua.
Oh,
K-Town,
wow.
O-Town, yeah.
Wow. What's your surname, Notis?
My last name is Tupo Furibai.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
maybe related.
Yeah, we're probably related.
Probably.
No, but that's freaking awesome. I was born in Tonga, but I've never been back. So once the borders open, I'm gonna. Yeah. So one of my dream goals is to buy a yacht, right? This yacht. I actually flew to Florida to test out these yachts. They're called. It's a catamaran yacht.
Wow.
With the dual holes. But I want to buy one of those and take it to Tonga and be like a tourist guide for the whale watching.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like a dream of mine. I want to move to Tonga. Yeah.
You said that you wanted to buy a boat, but you didn't tell me about no whale watching.
Yeah, I want to do the whale watching. So, on my boat, on my yacht, it's a 4-cabin yacht, right? And I'll have my own cabin for the captain of the ship, and then I could rent out the 3 other rooms in the yacht for the guests, and I can have a chef. I can cook a little bit of Saimini and stuff, but I can have them, charter out the boat, and I can take them wherever the whales are and have them go whale watching, and maybe do like a 3-4 day excursion. But that's the dream, to have a yacht and to be able to do that type of business. I don't know. I'm just putting out to the universe,
Do that, absolutely.
You know what's gonna happen is you're gonna be the tour guide when Mele goes to Tonga and the princess, and they want to go ever to those other islands. Guess what, bro? It's gonna be on your yacht. Princessi, you're gonna be over there. Make sure her feet don't get uli because she's part of the princess too. She's over there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Manifest. We have to manifest our dream.
Absolutely. We believe that 100%. And like our whole podcast is about information, right? So like having access to the right information can put you on another level. Like you can level up if you have access to the right information. So hopefully one day.
Never limit yourself, bro. You constantly seek that energy and project that out into the universe.
100%. I have it on my phone here, like the picture of the yacht that I want. Oh, you probably can't see it, but there's a yacht
behind you.
Yeah, and I'm manifesting that too, because I believe, even though that's a Zoom background, but I'm thinking that it's Tonga, and I'm going to be there someday. So,
visualization is everything. Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about my mom. My mom was strict too, right? She used to tell me straight up, hey, go over there and go and put that bottle over there. Now, the bottle that she told me to go and get, it's not no normal bottle. It's not no bottle that you can find at the liquor store or at the grocery stores, right? It was thick plastic, like the Fiji bottles that you buy at the convenience store. But it was kind of looked like a lampshade, but it was a weird shaped bottle. You know what I mean? And it was a screw on, right? You can only screw it on and screw it off. I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, they used to have the brown tape. It wasn't the gray tape. It was the brown one, right? And it was taped around. And my mom was like, take this bottle and go put it underneath the sink in hot water. I'm like, what? So I would go take the bottle and I'll put it underneath the thing, right? Because it was solid. It was brown and it was like stank. I was like, man, but every single day, not every day, but every other day, my mom would make me take this solid bottle, like a weird looking bottle. It looked like an old ancient bottle that like somebody would write a note in from Europe and put, dear Mele, this is whoop de whoop. You know what I'm saying? And put it, you find that bottle in the middle of the ocean, right? Those type of bottles. Can't find it anywhere. Yeah. So when you put it underneath the hot water, it creates a liquid. Is that what you're making?
That is the inspiration behind what we're making. But our oil, so the reason why it's solid like that is because of the saturated fats that are in the coconut oil. It goes solid when it's the room temperature is cool. But in the humid, in Tonga, it's always liquid. And with my product, you have to think about making it, when you're making it shelf ready, what the consumer does not want to go and stand underneath the sink and hold it there until it's ready to be used. That's asking the consumer to do more. Like we come from the consumer wants things like now. They want to, so our oil stays liquid all the time because it's MTC oil. So, sorry, MCT oil.
MCT.
Middle chain triglycerides. Like there's a lot of science behind it, but that's the coconut oil with the saturated fats already taken off it. It's a lot better to be absorbed in your skin. Whereas the misconception, because I think there's the culture of it, which means the more oily and the more ngingila you are with the oil, that's like what beautifies you. It's showing like the oil is supposed to be very oily on your skin, but we're making a skincare product for your face, so it has to be able to absorb into the skin, or else it clogs your pores. You're just going to be walking around shiny all day, and you don't want that.
That's what I used to put Vaseline on and try to walk around in the hood like, what's cracking, bro? You know? Your hair could shiny, look like some crackheads.
You have like bugs sticking on your face because you're
Hey, how about that? What is that oil that they be chewing it up in your mouth? Like my auntie, yeah, tui. I remember when I was a little kid, my aunts would chew this nut up, and then they would like spit it out on their hands and volley my face with it, man.
What?
And my hair. Yeah.
That's the tui. That's like that's how they would be able to extract the oil from the nut. They would chew this nut, they would take it out, like they will mama it, chew it out, and then it's used to sort of clean the skin as well, but also replace it with the most highly rich in antioxidant type of oil. So we've been able to get the tui oil. It's not chewed by anybody. It's
but that's your face exfoliation cream that you use. You use tui to make that.
Yeah, okay. So that's the inspiration behind our exfoliator, but it's also mixed with hyaluronic acid, which is a ingredient that helps keep moisture in the skin. It doesn't strip the skin. Yeah, so when you're washing your face with water, it takes all the natural oils off your face and it leaves your face feeling dry, cracked. Yeah. This tui oil, it's got hyaluronic acid. It's got so many beautiful ingredients in it, like grapeseed oil and tea tree oil. Wow.
Yeah, for all you listeners out there that are non-islanders and you want to have some beautiful skin like our island girls, hey, tap in.
Word, for real.
I've only ever used the Lolo on myself, and I wouldn't be rocking for a brand if I didn't believe in it, but I believe it's what's kept my skin from head to toe like youthful.
Absolutely.
I really believe in it that much that I went all out and made a brand like this for this product. I used to tell everyone about it.
Yeah, you and your daughter look like sisters, straight up. The oldest one.
Yeah. People can't believe that I have children that are in high school. Like I get the same response all the time about people.
Oh, girl, you just a walking billboard, huh?
You have to be with your product. You have to represent. You have to like own it. You have to believe in it.
Okay. Question for you then.
Tell me.
Okay. So I run a nonprofit organization here in Utah. Mm-hmm. And I don't like to be the face of the program because then all the pressure gets put on me, but I have to because I know I have to. You know what I'm saying? What are some of the things that you've done that I can do to kind of help me not only expand my brand here in the States, but like, what am I trying to say? I guess feel more confident and being the face of the nonprofit organization that I run.
It's a good question because it's something that I didn't want to be the face of my brand, and I'm being straight up honest because I don't think anything of myself. You guys can believe what you want, but the way I was brought up, my mom told us we looked like monkeys our whole lives. We didn't think anything of ourselves. So like we are the way we were brought up was very
it
really was like that. So I wasn't the most confident person. The generation that are coming up now are different. They exude this type of confidence that I just didn't have. I feel like the way I'm speaking to you guys now, I didn't believe that I could get on and have like meetings and that. I was doubting myself. I was doubting like having to represent a luxury brand. I didn't have the confidence. And so I wanted to bring on all the most beautiful models that I could think of to represent the brand. And I still will do that. But at the same time, there is an aspect that my team were constantly telling me, the people need to see the founder. They want to hear from you. When we post up content of you, a photo of you, or like, people are interested in the founder because you are the brand, you are the story. People aren't wanting to just follow any brand. They're really intrigued. They want to know, you know, I'm sure you have a story as to why you are part of this nonprofit organization. And you really can't think too much about, like, now I just talk or whatever. I just get on. And I really think people genuinely connect to me for that reason, because I'm just so raw and straight up, and I tell my story how it is. I talk how I talk, and I think people now don't buy the bullshit so much. There's so many founders and business people who are more successful when they're their authentic selves, when they're walking around in jeans and a t-shirt. They don't have to put on so much of a facade to try and get the trust of whoever you're selling it to, or whoever you're trying to be. You have to believe that. I have to believe that my story and my testimony and like me representing the brand will be enough, and you will get the right people who support your brand. And yeah, I would just what I do is I follow a lot of business owners, and you have to really do like a lot of self-work. I've had to do a lot of self-work to be able to have the confidence to own the Feniu brand. So that's my
Don't believe you're Ngeli. Don't believe you're Ngeli.
Don't believe I'm Ngeli. I you know, I say to my business partner, I was like, oh, I don't really think I'd be a great face for the brand, but I am happy to talk about it. I think I've got a story to tell. There's so many beautiful Tongan and Pacifica women, and not only them, like
oh wow,
women in general that can represent the brand. I'm all about supporting women. I'm not about like jealousy or hating. I don't watch what other people are doing so much, or I don't pass judgment. And I attract that type of energy back because of how supportive and giving and wanting everyone to win. I haven't had any. I give off the energy that I want to receive.
Come on now. 100%.
Yeah.
And that
taking notes, girl. I'm taking notes.
And it comes right back to you, like you said. That's what's up.
You just have to believe that the people who are going to listen to you, people who are going to support you, are going to be the right people. Like, you can't please everyone. Not everyone will. Some people might think that my product is at a high price point. Like, why is your product at a high price point? I stick to my branding and where I want to align myself with. You can't please everyone. You can't make everyone happy. Yeah. And you can't be afraid of what everyone has an opinion. And when you put yourself on a certain level of exposure, you have to allow to be open to see what people have to say. I guess it's up to you how you take it. I won't lose any sleep at night. At the end of the day, I'm very focused on the goal. I've got a lot of people that are riding on me, and you have to just be able to you just have to be focused about what the end goal is and not be so bothered about too many things in between.
Straight up loto toa then, huh?
You have to be, I guess. But be compassionate. Like, always listen. At the end of the day, that's your community. You have to be open to hearing people. And you can't be like really like too defensive about things that you read and see. You just have to understand, like, everybody has a thought process and an opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the hate is coming. It's coming, girl.
Well, you probably already had the hate when they saw you pictures with the princess. The hate level went up.
Mm-hmm.
You reckon?
So, heck yeah! What? How did she get a meeting with the princess, dude? That man. People saw that, they automatically probably even hated you even more if they didn't already. But
I mean, that's the reality of maybe something, or you know, even thinking, you know, who's this girl in Australia? that's getting this type of attention. But you really can't focus on that. You actually have to choose what type of energy you give to. If I was the type of person that was affected and worrying about what people thought about that, I probably would have a really difficult time doing what I do. But I'm very like tunnel vision when it comes to, I don't actually give any energy to any hate. I haven't seen any comments, or I haven't seen any bad feedback about anything that I've done. And I'm not just saying that. I think I read one comment that the price point was high, but that was like the only bad comment that I've seen. Maybe God's just doing me a favor by not like exposing them to me. Next minute.
For real. CCing us someone real quick.
Give the free. Yeah.
Man, so, geez, that's amazing. So, like, when you say high school, like your kids are high school level, like what is that like compared to the state's education? Is it really like high school, or is
I
it?
think because I've been to America, and I think I know the schooling system. You guys have it intermediate,
Yeah.
and then you guys start at freshman, and then you do the sophomore.
Yep.
So I will have a daughter in freshman next year, and 2 in intermediate. So my daughter will start year 7, which is high school for us. It's out of primary school. So my daughter will start year 7, my youngest daughter, and then I have my son in year 8, and then my eldest in year 9.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, to you guys, it's like having 2 kids in intermediate, and then my eldest will be in high school.
Right on. Do they do sports or do they do any activities?
My son was doing football, like rugby. And my daughter plays netball. The youngest one just wants to be Beyonce. She just does her own thing. Not really. But since lockdown, and there hasn't been much in terms of, sports within schools. I think they're looking to send the kids back to school in the next few weeks. It's just weird times here in Australia.
Oh, wow. So it's lockdown then for you guys, right?
We had like lockdown for 4 months, even with a curfew.
Oh, wow.
We were only allowed to go out for essentials and only allowed to exercise for an hour of the day. And now they've announced that you're only allowed to go out if you've been double vaccinated, and it has to show on your phone that you've been vaccinated. Everybody else that's not vaccinated has freedom on the 1st of December.
Oh, that's crazy.
Crazy.
So it's on your phone that you guys that you show someone that they could.
Yeah, you have to show restaurants and anywhere that you go that you've been fully vaccinated. It's like I feel like I'm in a different world. But
wow,
I haven't been vaccinated. I just have an exemption because I have a health condition. It's really hard to get that exemption, but because I have a pre-existing health condition that doesn't allow me to get the vaccinations that are here. So I just have to show people that form that I'm exempt. And that's the only way that I've been able to travel is by having this exemption.
What's up? I'm about to screenshot something because they're coming. It's about I think it's getting that way out here too in the States.
Yeah, I heard that Australia is really like the testing ground for a lot of trying to enforce a lot of these things. And it's really breaking down a lot of people, like a lot of people who don't want to get vaccinated, men who have been forced to just to be able to go to work and provide for their families. And it's caused a division. It's caused a division. There's people who are saying, if you're not getting vaccinated, you're not doing the right thing by our community and you're being selfish. But I tend to think that everyone should just be in control and have control of their body, and everyone should respect each other's decision. Businesses are being told that it's up to them to refuse their services to people who aren't vaccinated yet. So it's really causing a division here in Australia. And it's just weird times right now.
Yeah, we definitely live in weird times. Super weird.
You really
But
don't
you're
know.
still able, despite of all this drama, you were still able to thrive. Come on now.
I don't know. I do know how, with the help from, like, we've been busy, like that. We've had to open up another warehouse during this pandemic lockdown within the last 4 months. And we've been, like, our businesses has been, like, I feel bad almost for saying it because a lot of people are suffering, like business in that, but like, can't even act cool about it. For me, I'm just like, how? Like, why me? Like, this is insane. I just thank God today and continue to ride the momentum and try and use this journey as to inspire others. Don't stay complacent just because our bodies are on lockdown, our minds are not on lockdown. You can be preparing for things in the background. Yeah, the mind is such a powerful tool. If you don't sort of harness it and use your time to build yourself, it's detrimental to like what you sort of, how you sort of deal with things. I just been really lucky, not lucky. I've been really blessed, but I've been doing the work.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't prepare and do the work, like there's no way anything will ever amount to something. So,
Yeah.
great job, man. Just keep going. It's so refreshing to see a Polynesian Tongan woman doing her thing. Like, you know what I mean? That's so inspirational on so many levels. So congratulations. Keep it going. Can't wait to see all your next adventure when you get to Dubai. I mean, that's just another level, man. That's
I look forward to
huge.
I've been documenting this journey for a while now. So even like my days where I feel like really shitty, I'll get up and I'll post that. I'll post up like, I'm feeling shitty. I don't actually want to do anything today.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're able to like go through the lows, but also experience the highs and like take people on this journey with us. Because, a lot of people, to be honest, they see successful people when they're successful. A lot of successful people, they sort of document that middle part, the struggle. And I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of showing that. I'm not afraid of failing. I'm not afraid of, I just take people on the journey. I put out there that we're having all these opportunities, but then if I was really a type of person that was worried about the result of it, then I don't think I would be putting it out there like that. I could fail. That's a very real part of it. But that's part of the journey. I look forward to taking someone from the media team over to Dubai and documenting this opportunity.
Well, shoot, if you need a camera guy, let me know. I'll fly out there.
I'm on now. Like even I think the day before the actual Dubai opened, we had some interest come from a business house in Kuwait and Qatar. So that email came through the day before the launch of the Dubai. And even that, like the Dubai hadn't even opened yet until the next day. And we already had interest for someone to distribute the brand. So I don't even know. I think once we get over there, we can discuss that a little bit more, but my mind is completely blown. I just really hope to,
that's amazing,
use this opportunity to make the most of this opportunity, just to even network and understand the market, the Middle Eastern market. But that's just because it's in the Middle East doesn't mean we're not going to be able to have the opportunity to get in. There's 200 countries that are showcasing there, and they're walking in amongst the other pavilions and seeing what everyone has to offer.
Do you know where you guys are setting up? Do you know where your booth or your station is going to be at?
So for Tonga, we're in the merchandising pod. So there's another brand called Hey Lala Vanilla. So I think they're originally from New Zealand. It's owned by a Palangi couple who've been doing it for a while, but their products are in retail here. They're in our Woolworths, which is our grocery stores. So they've done pretty well to get in there. They do the vanilla beans for the cooking. So it's just us in Manila that are in the Tonga pavilion, but we're in the merchandising pod. They've also got like gears and handicrafts that the local women have made. I love that.
That's dope.
But for Australia, we'll be going in there for Health and Wellness Week, which will be in January. So during January, during that particular week, I think all the countries will be showcasing health and wellness product. The fact that we got in there is like we're dealing with the government, the Australian government, who have been able to approve our travel and who are also working together with us to get our display ready for that. So
wow.
That's
awesome.
God is good. It sounds
real.
like, yeah, God is good. It just sounds like everything you wish for, everything you kind of you want to unfold is happening for you. I'm happy.
And my mom
I'm
gets
jealous at the same time. Shoot.
Mom gets emotional. My mom gets emotional. I really want people to see, you know, put in the effort, put in the hard work, and you know, the sacrifices that I've had to go through to get on this level. It's all worth it. Like, yeah, my mom full cries when she
Oh, that's what's up.
because she's like, you know, you did a lot of it on your own and we didn't help you. But now she's making food for me. She's dropping food off to my house, and she really is just like running behind me and trying to help me as much as she can, because yeah, I really am doing it. I really am doing it for my whole family and for a community that I hope when they're watching this, they know it's possible.
Like you mentioned earlier, like you and your kids go on a drive through to Macca's.
McDonald's.
Can you explain that to the people like listening right now what Macca's is? Because we know what is Macca's.
Macca's is McDonald's.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold up.
Because we've been on lockdown, we can't go anywhere. We have to stay within 5 kilometers. So when they're having a hard time, it's a trip in the drive-through to McDonald's.
You guys call it Macca's. Everyone calls it Macca's, or is just
Macca's? Oh, Australia has their way of like abbreviating everything because we're such a, that's our slang. Macca's is McDonald's. I'm going to send you a YouTube video that breaks down the Aussie slang.
Yeah, that'd be.
Do I sound very Australian?
You do have an accent, yes. Like
I remember coming over to America. I think I was in high school. So my cousin was going to a university called Foothill College
in the Bay Area.
And they were wanting to pay me to talk because they thought I sounded so like Crocodile Dundee or whatever that.
You do.
My cousin would be jumping on the couch like reenacting catching a crocodile. He's like, crikey. I'm like, I don't sound like that. You do?
Do you say that too? Do people?
No, we don't say, I can confirm 100% that we don't say crikey.
Oh.
Well, I don't anyways.
Yeah, man. So, geez, that's hilarious. So, yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead, Togo.
No, I had a question about kangaroos. Are you familiar? Like, do you see a lot of kangaroos down there? Is it like taboo to own a pet kangaroo, or how does that work? I seriously, legit wanted to ask you that question.
Well, we don't see them unless you go out country. Probably I would have to drive like 2-3 hours out country to see them hopping around. You rarely see them. People thought this about Australia, that they're just like
everywhere.
Yeah, and like a cat or a dog, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, I can't even remember the last time I seen a kangaroo. I think is when I went to Canberra and I seen it jumping around. But no, we're very civilized people over here in Australia.
Oh my goodness!
You came up with that question.
I wanted to know because I thought they were everywhere.
They thought we had dirt roads and things like that. It's like crazy what you guys think of Australia. We're very in the times here in Australia.
Well, I know Russell Crowe, you know, the actor Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell
famous
Crowe.
actor. He's from Australia, and I love all his movies. So I
Good.
just something I always just thought of for some reason. I don't know.
You guys would love it if you guys came to Australia. You guys have to
Oh, we coming.
definitely come and do a trip to Australia. Come visit
Yeah.
our Feniu warehouse, take you through production, and
That'd be dope.
you guys a tour.
Where what part of Australia is the like your company based out of?
In Sydney. So
Oh, in
we're in
Sydney.
yeah.
Nice.
I mean, the idea is to hopefully one day have a presence in Tonga, like to set something up in Tonga and be able to branch out and help our community over in Tonga provide jobs. I think.
Dope. Yeah. I mean, you're already working. I've seen that you're already working with the youth there, right? Like,
Yeah,
doing-
they're an existing organization.
Mm.
But you know, we need to create the demand. We need to do our work and keep a consistent flow of like so we can purchase their products. So we've done the work in creating the product, but we need to keep it going.
Slowly but surely, over time, it'll happen.
Mhm. I mean, we're only 1 year into
Sheesh.
the business.
That's the amazing part too, in of itself. That's huge, man. That is huge.
I mean, it's learning now, and it's not to try and like take off too fast, but to try and pace ourselves. But there's definitely plans. We definitely have a 5 to 10 year vision for this. And
Nice. So what sort of things are you pouring into yourself? Like any books that you're reading right now that you like to share?
I just finished reading The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. I think it's so important. Well, for me, I think it's personally for everybody. They seek different things that help them. Every morning, I listen to a playlist, which is gospel, my gospel playlist. That helps me. It helps me set the tone for my home. I blast it on the speakers, get the kids out of bed. I really am mindful about the energy that's being created in the home. And you really have to do that. It's tough. Like you wake up, you're tired. And you're not getting this long 8 hours sleep. I don't know, that's a fantasy. The reality is I'm doing sometimes late night calls because of the time differences with certain countries, 4 o'clock in the morning, and like you really have to put in work. So I just finished reading the Purpose Driven Life. I think it definitely I read it before, but especially during what I'm doing now, purpose for me is very important for me to stay focused on the end goal and to understand what I want to create here. It's not the end goal, it's the journey and what you learn from it. And you really have to build your armor. You really have to sharpen your sword, like your spirit. That's what helps get me going, not only in the business, but as a mother. And yeah, and I try and, I mentioned before, I've got like a few health issues. I basically operate with half the energy that I'm supposed to be operating on because of a blood condition that I have. So I really have to put in work and like get on the treadmill and try and build my body up strong. The things that I eat, like there's so much effort that goes into hyping myself up to make me strong enough to do the work.
Yeah, so there's a lot of purpose. There's a lot of power in your purpose then.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
what would you say? What was who's the author of that book? What's the name of the book again? I missed that.
Purpose Driven Life.
Purpose Driven Life.
By Rick Warren.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know Coach is big on Coach Will over here is big on reading, and and I like we have a text group, right? So I love it when he's able to share just a passage or something of a new book that he's reading, It helps our text group out a lot. So
It's good. Like I love that. And sometimes when I don't have time, I listen to podcasts. So I listen to a lot of female founders podcasts. I listen to faith-based ministry podcasts. So Dr. Miles Monroe is someone that I like listening to on, and I just put it on while I'm driving or while I'm exercising. But sometimes it's good to also have a break from so much seriousness. So I watched The Housewives of Atlanta.
nice.
Girl, and then that's where you get your little snap on, huh?
Housewives of Potomac. Like, you can't be full on serious all the time. You need to like chill and just switch off and have fun with the kids and joke around. And it's good to like build your, in your spare time, but it's also good to balance it out and have a drink with a mate or jump on a Zoom call and just be real with yourself and with life.
How far away is Bondi Beach? Is that
Bondi Beach?
Or is it Bondi? Did I say it wrong?
Bondi Beach. That's
Bondi
probably
Beach.
45 minutes away from where I am right now.
I was looking up everything Australia, and that is one of the beaches that I hope to visit someday. Just because the surf looks good, and isn't there like a pool or something that's kind of near there?
Icebergs, yeah, but that's the tourist attraction. If you would need to go down to the south coast. So my dad was a whaiwhekau for a number of years, and one of our placements was down in the south coast of Australia, or Balangis, and the beaches there are so beautiful. It's like I would definitely take you to the south coast beaches rather than Bondi. Bondi is very packed.
So we get a tour of the factory, the tour of the warehouse, and then also.
And then we're going to the south coast for the beach.
And then the Opera House. I want to go to that place too. I heard that place is dope. I want to check that place out.
It's definitely a lot to see in Sydney, Australia. I think Australia is such a beautiful country. Like, there's so much. Like, there's the Great Barrier Reef up north, and there's still a lot of places that I haven't been to here. I haven't been to sort of the lower parts, like this South Australia and Adelaide. I haven't been there.
Coach, do you have family in Australia? I thought you said.
Man, my mom tells me we got a gang of family over there, but just been wishing. See, now I know. Now I have an excuse to be in Australia now.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to host you if you boys decide to come out for a trip here to Australia, to Sydney.
Oh, we coming. I've been wanting to come to Australia.
Utah, it snows there, correct? A lot of snow.
It's about to snow here in a couple of days. It shows on the weather.
Yeah.
It's hot, everybody comes here to ski. So this is a big ski state up in the mountains, and people come from all over the world just to come and hit these slopes.
That is so cool. So you're a coach there for a college football team?
I used to.
Okay.
I used to coach college football for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I started coaching high school when I moved here to Utah.
Yeah.
And that was hard for me.
Okay.
Because I have to deal with parents. Not saying it's a bad thing, but like in college, you only deal with the individual because they're already adults, so you don't have to necessarily deal with parents. And so your communication is strictly one-on-one with that student athlete. But now, like I was telling you, now I just run my own business. It's just a nonprofit 501c3, and it still scratches my urge to be part of the game. But at the same time, I'm just trying to prep the youth and let them understand what the process is and the hard work. And it's the same process, right? Whatever it is that you need to build. But for me, it's more athletics and helping build these kids and let them understand it's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's when you get there, there's a new process that has to be developed. And I got to train them to learn how to grind when it gets hard, because that's part of the process of life. And these kids nowadays, it's so hard to, to try to paint that picture without it really happening to them at that moment,
Yeah.
And so I'm just writing a bunch of these notes down from you, you know, just trying to figure out what I can do to create a more positive yet sustaining program to help these families um, just understand how hard it is. You know,
Mm.
it ain't that easy.
No.
Yeah, these kids are getting offered, but you know, um, but yeah, it's you know, and Notis helps me with my branding. He's always commenting and helping me understand, like, hey, you need to add this to this just to make it yours. So his comments and everybody in our podcast or our little group, we kind of share ideas with each other to kind of build off each other because that's what we're supposed to do.
That's exactly right. It's good that I like that you have a community that uplifts each other, and you guys help each other throughout your journey, and you're able to share and sort of bounce ideas off each other and give advice to each other. I have one mentor that I've just become close with, which is my business partner. It's so important to have that within a group when you're starting something or when you're in business, just a soundboard to work off. So I love that you guys have that relationship with each other and are able to help each other in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps.
Mm.
We have another guy named Paul Fanaika, and he played in the NFL, Professional Football League, for quite some time. And he was able, you know, from our little text from way back when, he would share little tidbits like, "Hey, this if you apply for this, you could probably get this and this," and that alone has just helped us individually. There's another guy named Joe. He works with the IRS with the taxes, right? Like taxes, the government taxes, and he tells us little tips to help avoid paying so much taxes and stuff like this.
That's very
So
cool. That's
yeah,
a
so
very cool thing.
but yeah, it helps to have a nice circle to be able to feed back on, right? So.
Girl, in this text message, all of a sudden you look at your phone, 486 text messages.
That's
and,
cool.
it's
And
nonstop.
it's not business related. Is it
Oh, it's
about
everything.
No comment.
No, it's so funny because yeah, you'll be at work and all of a sudden you look down and you have 300, 400 text messages, and it's hilarious. We from everything from new
People don't
shoes.
know, like the like journeying through business, it's like very lonely. So you have to have people that you can trust and not only share certain stuff with. But I think that's why, yeah, I pretty much feel alone a lot of the time, and I start just jumping on and sharing on my phone, and then strangers like young women who have been following me really send me, like, I have a girl that just sends me messages, uplifting messages every day. She's going to do it for the next 10 days. Like strangers who come along with you on this journey that are able to ask you questions and you can start a conversation with. For me, that's been such a blessing through this, like through being vulnerable and sharing this journey. So I like that I've met some young women who like, I'm blessed that they see me as a great example for them to follow for business. And I hope that I could continue doing what I do for that reason. I would love to see more support for women, if I'm being honest with you, because there's so much support for our guys who do sports. All of a sudden, you know, they make it, they crack it, and then they got this huge following and support. But I would love to see that more for women. I want our men to support our women and not come like feel like they can't support and encourage their women, especially. I don't know, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think can you sort of see how it could be a problem in the home if, like, the woman was to start a business when you've got kids and you've got the whole thing going on, supporting your significant other and supporting, you know, women? Could you see that being a problem in the Polynesian
I mean, if for me, I'll answer the. For me, is I think it depends on who the like the foundation of your spouse. You know, what I mean, where they came from, how they were brought up. Um, for being I can see there could be a little bit of jealousy, like someone that has more success or whatever than the other person. I think it depends on like um where that person is coming from. I don't know. Like I was brought up in a household where my mom, she was a strong woman. My dad
Mm,
never went to elementary school. He, you know, they grew up in Tonga. Never went to elementary school, high school, or anything. But my mom, she went to Tonga High, and she was the top of her class. And she actually went to school here in America, got her bachelor's, and
mhm.
then also got her master's degree. And she's the first Tongan woman or Tongan and a Tongan
Wow.
female to get a bachelor's and a master's degrees at the local college here, at the local university. So that's why I say it depends on where they came from. But I grew up in a household where there's strong women, and I got you know, my mom. She was a great example for that. And so I think it depends a lot how you're upbringing. If you come from a traditional, not traditional, but like a Tongan household where it's a patriarch, you know, type of a household, then I think there could be some jealousy or some a lack of a feeling like they lack, like your spouse could feel like they lack something or something. But I came from a total opposite upbringing where my mother, she was a strong foundation. She was a strong individual, strong what is it, not strong individual, strong, like a focal point to look at. Whereas my
Mhm.
dad, he was nurturing it. He's a, you know, he played music. He was a professional bass player, and he did music. So we grew up with the art side, and we grew up with the intellectual side. So,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of it, just this is my opinion, depends on the upbringing mostly.
Okay.
But
What was the question again?
Support for women who start, you know, do you see that being a problem? How it could be a problem in the home? Women starting their own businesses and maybe not having the support. I think the question I was asking is, I think you guys as individuals, like, what's your perception of it? Would you support your significant other if they were doing something like, it's almost like taking a gamble? You're like risking, and then you have to be across like your home and cooking and the kids. There's that sort of expectation as well. Like, would you guys have concerns in supporting your significant other if they had this whole thing going on? Do you see that as a problem in the Polynesian culture?
Mm-hmm.
I'm only asking because I know a lot of it's not being brought out. I connect with a lot of women who start businesses and who have things going on, but they have a lot of trouble in the home. And that's just being real.
I think what happens is a lot of us like to keep our manhood and try to be tough and want to be the man. You know what I'm saying? There's so much pressure on us as Polynesians just to be men of the house. You know what I'm saying? Um, so when there is a female that we encounter that is on a different level, it's intimidating. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it gets intimidating. You're like, shoot, like, you know, think she's doing better than me. I can't, you know, for a lot of guys, I'm just, you know, for me, it's sexy, girl. It is sexy, I think.
and
What's
then
that mean? What's that mean? Everyone loves a strong woman until it's theirs.
100%.
I just think, you know what I mean? I love, I love having people that's smarter than me around me,
Mm.
because then they have, like, I like great conversations. I like to talk about things that have, you know what I'm saying, more meaning. You know, I hate talk to me about something, teach me something, let me understand what you're trying to learn, because I want to learn too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's plenty of single guys here in the States that is looking for a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? That is looking for one that is doing good for herself, you know, that knows how to nurture and take care of the kids and do business at the same time. And one of them is part of our podcast. So, you know, you never know, you know.
That's true. You never know. His name is Tech. He's also an entrepreneur. But you see, when you ask us that question, Mele, we're different. We're not like we're outside the box thinkers, like Coach. And,
We are.
like we're all entrepreneurs. Our whole podcast group, we all have our own side businesses.
I'm actually asking, like genuinely asking, mainly because, you know, in like when I'm journeying along and I connect with people, I'm like thinking, how come the ratio of these issues that I'm hearing, it's like a consistent thing? So I don't know if it's like a cultural thing. I don't know if it's a man thing. I don't know if it's I really wanted to ask you guys to get your perception of it. I don't talk to a lot of Islander males.
Yeah. Also, a lot of it has to do with ego too. A lot of ego goes behind that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're fine.
Damn. So if they are now understood, like for me, the perception for me is, as we're going along, it's not getting any cheaper to run a household. It's within your benefit if both of the husband and the wife are supporting each other. Women are wanting more, like seeing, you know, the struggles, and they're wanting to help, and they're wanting to, you know, have these ideas. But I would love to see more of a support where it could be done in a like, can that even be done? Like,
oh yeah,
sure.
A power couple without any intimidation, without any, like, you know, ego. I would love to see this. I have a genuine love and care for women. I want to empower women, but I would hate that they're getting empowered to the point where they can't really do anything with it because they're having a hard time in reality. And that's the conversations that I'm having privately with a lot of people. And I would hate to see them not thrive, because I believe you can have it all. I believe that I believe in the family unit. I don't believe in being like strong just because you have to be. I believe that, yeah, I'm going on a tangent now.
No, 100%.
But you different though. You know what I mean? Like your mindset and your uniqueness is different than most poly girls that I know, that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't be discouraged.
I'm not
discouraged.
Just be
you. You just be you, and I promise you.
I'm just asking for my friends. Yeah.
Oh, you know your friends, and my friends, we can all be friends. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
No, I think I do it for the women. I think I really do want to see a lot more women thrive in business. And like you said, you don't know of a lot of women who are doing this, and I would hope that I'm encouraging younger generation of women to do big things, to give it a go.
Absolutely. And thanks for coming on, like to share a little bit of your story and talk about these things, because we feel like we want to empower women too. It's so funny because we were just talking about this. We have more women guests on our podcast than we actually have guys. We reach out to every single person, and it's been more so the women that have agreed to come on and talk and share their story. We had I seen that you had Diamond Langi part of your branding campaign. Like, she's probably one of the models, right? And we actually had her on our podcast talking about her story and her
I
unique
love that
story.
I think from my perspective, like I said, we want to share, you know, it's limited to, but if we can share when we can and have the opportunity to influence a community and to help uplift and empower a culture, then why not? So thank you for the invitation to share. And I like the fact that it was very just chill and casual. That's more me as a person, as opposed to all these formalities that I've been having to do in the last few months. So this has been fun. And yeah, I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you, and
Thank
geez,
you.
I mean, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. So who else was supposed to be on today?
We another model of yours, Leilani Vaka.
I love her. Yes, she's amazing.
We
She's
have
doing
her. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
she's doing big things. She's in broadcasting and like radio. She's over in Perth.
Oh, that's right, Perth. How far away is Perth from Sydney? Is that pretty? Is
I
that?
think probably 4 or 5 hours plane ride, I think.
And it's a
Like
different.
yeah, it's almost like LA and New York. It's on the other side of
Wow.
Dang, that's 4.
the country.
So we have her Thursday, I think, or Wednesday. This week coming up.
She's brilliant. I love that you guys are reaching out and interviewing the women. I love that she's decided to come on. I can't wait to hear her podcast.
Yeah, we're excited too. I mean, we reach out to all different kinds. We professional rugby players, professional NFL players, all sorts of guys and women, but it's been mostly women that accepted to come on and talk to us. So thank you. Our small little podcast, it's nothing big or anything, but we want to share information with people, with our people. Because we were natural born seafarers, some of the best navigators that ever lived on this earth are from our country, and that's our heritage. It's super powerful, and we come from that. That's our ancestors. That's our blood, right? And we have greatness in us, and being Pacific Islanders, being Tongans, and we want to share that with everyone. We're natural born seafarers. We're natural born adventurers, conquerors of this ocean, the biggest ocean in the world, and that we come from that bloodline. We want to share that. All the information that we learned during our little text message group, we want to share that with all our brothers and sisters to empower them to be able to level up, if you will. And so we believe strongly in this podcast. And we really, really want to share other successful Tongans and Polynesians, their stories like yours. And it's just, it's just something that we're all passionate about. And again, thank you for coming on. And is there anything else that you wanted to share that we might have missed or talked about?
No, I was pretty open, and I love that we were able to have just a really cool discussion. But if you guys did you guys have anything that you wanted to ask? I can't think of anything. I was just really coming on here to see what you guys wanted to talk about. But I encourage you guys to keep doing what you guys are doing over there. Like, don't allow the sea to distance us. You guys are really just reaching out to people, and yeah, I 100% support what you guys are doing, and I look forward to catching up with you guys again and giving you guys an update, but also finding out from you, Coach, how everything is going on your end, and maybe meeting the other guys and seeing how they're going. But yeah, through the diaspora, we should be connected. We should be supporting each other. We should be uplifting each other. I'm sure people will see on my story what you guys are doing and share the stories. You guys are doing a great job, and thank you for your time, and thank you for offering to hear my story.
Best believe I'm gonna be bothering you.
Oh yeah.
Because like you have all these skills that you built, for branding and for marketing and for merchandising and for whatever it is within the eye, right? The whatever they used to say. But I just, I got a lot of questions that I want to ask you when it comes to my branding and how I should do it, how it should look, if it's sensitive to the eye or if it's like appealing enough for that population that I'm targeting. But very inspiring, girl. I'm really happy that you came on. The other guys done missed out,
They just missed out for sure. Let them know.
We should fire him right now on the podcast so they can.
We will fire them right now. You guys done missed out because all these gems that Miss Mele over here to share with our podcast today.
For real.
You're making me feel like I'm someone special. Stop. Let's
You're
hope it
special.
gets somewhere. This is the grind. I don't like talking too much. I hope to put the action to, you know, actually making something. I don't like to celebrate too early, but I think just the journey in itself has been a blessing to me, that I hope what comes out of the journey will be a blessing to others. Others can see and get something from it.
There you go.
This has been cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of read out some of the notes that I kind of got from you, some of the gems, just so we could kind of wrap a little bit about what we've discussed tonight. But these are the gems that I've learned, the nuggets that you kind of share with us is allow others' voices to be heard in your circle. Creating self-confidence, believing in your brand, sacrifice, focusing on the goals ahead. One big one in our circle that is believe in God, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I think the underlining of all of this is, there's a higher power up there that controls our destiny. And I think I felt your heart tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think I felt more than your voice. I felt a little bit of a piece of you on our podcast tonight, that you kind of just, you kind of shared and kind of, demand righteousness, tonight. Let them know, hey, God is where we should be having. So, when I am thinking about writing down all my notes on my goal book or my journal, you know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that I stay in line with what God wants, playing music in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You said gospel music? Girl, I'm about to get some gospel in me in the morning now.
I'm gonna send you my playlist, or my Spotify playlist.
Nice.
Send it to me.
Create it.
I'm trying to, I just feel like I think your heart is so pure, right? Your back was against the walls at one point in your life. And I'm reading this book. I'm almost done with it. It's the subtle art of not giving an F, right? Yeah. It's just learning, like, not caring what other people say. And growing up, I'm like so worried of what other people want, what other people are thinking, like, and I should have just listened to you all night. I didn't have to read this book.
I think that especially with the Islanders, they don't want anyone knowing anything bad about them and be worried about talk. But I can't be worried about other people talking about me if it's coming from me. I own the pits of hell that I've been through. It's refined me to how I am today, and like what I've been able to produce from coming from that. Oh my goodness! Like my brothers, if I had time, like I would just be sharing just straight from the heart, only because I believe, God shows mercy on everyone. We're all his kids. He wants us all to be happy in life. We just really have to have that belief. And it's been really what I've relied heavily on. And if I could share that, the word is the word, but when you put action to it and then people start asking you about it afterwards, it means so much more. Like you can have the preachers and stuff, and when you're actually doing the work, and it just hits a little bit different, because it's the result. You're seeing like the result of that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Oh, shoot. Preach on, girl. Preach on.
I encourage you guys, keep doing you guys are doing God's work. Every time you guys are sharing, every time you guys get a feeling to reach out to someone, you guys are following, like you guys are being obedient and helping share stories. You guys are doing God's work.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
I know.
But you're trying.
I know. And I'm excited. I'm excited that I was a black sheep. You know what I'm saying? Because, I gotta own it. We gotta own it, is what she said. Oh man.
I get along well with everyone in my family now. I've been the closest now to my family since ever. It comes with there's been a lot of like understanding through the struggle, and like never did I think that all this was going to happen. I'm in a really good space
nice.
At the moment. There's a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah. keep being you. Don't
Thank you.
change. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? Because
I might get
I
rich. I might get rich and like fancy and bougie and
you know what I'm saying? And you might be like, nope, lift me up because I don't want my thigh to get perepela.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Yeah, be you, girl. Like stay who you are. Like you're really like genuine and you know what you want in life. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what you like and you know what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? So it's just who you are, and you keep being you, and we're gonna follow your trail. We're gonna follow your journey.
I appreciate you, brothers, and likewise. Look forward to having you guys out here in Australia.
Definitely.
Notice, book us, bro. Come on.
I know. I got
Next year.
We'll use my buddy passes at work.
Oh yes, buddy passes.
Yep.
Hey, I forgot to ask you, Coach. Is there a coach out there by the name of Kalani?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Sitake.
yeah, Sitake is a relative of mine.
Oh yeah. He's the head football coach at BYU.
Yeah. My auntie posts him on Facebook all the time. And I thought,
yeah.
I'll know if he's in Utah. I'm pretty sure he might know Kalani.
You know, being in the coaching world, it's a small world, and especially Polynesian coaches, we got a strong connection with each other. Don't matter where you move around in the States, everybody kind of stay in touch with each other. And I've been out the game for a couple of years, but I stay connected with them dudes so they can help out my boys and give them scholarships and opportunities to change family situations.
Yeah.
But Kalani's a superstar out here. You know, he's created a team that a top 10 team. So you come out here, we can go and meet your uncle or your cousin, your uncle.
I mean, I haven't seen him since I was younger. I think his brother TJ came out and stayed with us for a while. They're my brother's ages, but I was like very young. I haven't seen them a very long time. But they've got brothers here. Their mom lives down the road. That's cool.
He's probably right now, he's the only Tongan head football coach of American football team out here in Utah.
Oh.
That's huge.
So he's changed the whole game when it comes to coaching football.
Very cool.
And yeah, he's probably one of the most, and there's all these other like big time colleges that are looking for head coaches, and his name keeps popping up in a pot that he's a candidate for those big time jobs.
Wow.
So
look at our people are doing big things.
Definitely. Yep.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, straight up.
Yep, and you're doing big things too in the retail, merchandise, and beauty products. Huge.
We hope. We pray for it. I can see it.
Can I wear those the little thing for my face so I don't get no wrinkles? Like can guys wear it or only females?
No, you know what? Guys need to take care of themselves too. Like, of course, guys can wear it. I need to send you guys out some products so you guys can try it. Let your wives try it. I would love to get into the US market one day. I don't see how that would be that's the goal, to get Feniu out in there. So I'll definitely send some products out to you guys and have you guys share it with your community. Give me some feedback.
Straight up,
yeah.
Oh, and I want them to be able to, we had guys part of our campaign because I really want to push. It's not just a women's thing, like men, take care of yourselves too. Have that time to take care of yourselves.
100%.
I'm just kind of curious how your interview process for those guys who put Hina Lolo on around the circle bowl, right? Like how many bottles of baby oil and people came to come and interview for that job? Dang.
It's funny. I had a lot of direct messages from friends asking if I'm hiring a professional oiler. They want to come and oil the models. If there's a job description for an oiler.
Come on.
That's hilarious.
It's fun. They can oil themselves. No, it's very respectful. I want to create a respectful space for our people, especially on my time. I really ask for people to be respectful, and everyone is, and everyone It's not like there's no, with whakaapa, I still, it's part of the values that we want to have for our company. But
Nice.
I want to, if it's on my time and if it's in my space and if anything attached to the Feniu name, I always hope to create like a safe space and a respectful space for the thing. I'm the one that sets that tone, and I everyone really just learns off each other. It's always like really good. There's no like creep vibes or anything like that.
Oh, that's good.
I need to
Yeah.
put you on the hood because you be straight up repping for Tonga hard,
You
all
reckon?
the time. You be prepping for Tonga real hard, and we love it.
Love
I
it.
do. It's part of the DNA, part of the identity. I really love that about us. I really want to sort of, yeah. I've been seeing some stuff like circulating that it's not really how things are anymore. But I don't want to believe that. I really want to believe that through our branding and stuff, we can revive and remind people that this is how we should be.
Right. It's a positive message. We're doing over 2 hours right now talking. Did you know that?
Time
Time
flies.
flies, right?
Fun. My throat's parched. I've just been talking nonstop. But yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, no, we're good to wrap this up. But thank you again, Mele,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brothers. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
Thank
again.
you very much. Thank you very much.
Have a great week. It's
Blessings.
Monday over there, right? It's Monday.
The start of our week. Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah, it's your
All right.
Sabbath. You guys are on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday over here. Have a
Thank
great
you,
week.
guys. You too. God bless.
Bless you.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you.
Aloha.
Yeah. Malo.